Hello and welcome to a quick tutorial on how to do a test cross in genetics. A test cross is defined as a cross between two individuals, one of which shows the phenotype of dominant, and the other is recessive. And that's going to be homozygous recessive, because if you're not homozygous recessive, then you really can't show the recessive phenotype. So the test cross is trying to figure out actually if the dominant phenotype is showing whether their genotype is homozygous or heterozygous. We don't know until we do the test cross. So with a test cross, we actually have two different Punnett squares that we have to do. Again, let's use melanin. So melanin is dominant. The ability to make melanin is dominant. And again, you can see that I have the ability to make melanin, not that much, but I make some melanin. But there are some individuals that are unable to make any melanin at all, and those individuals are albino. This is a recessive trait, so we're assigning a recessive allele. Let's assume that what would happen if the individual that's showing the dominant phenotype is big A, big A. What we would do is we would take our homozygous dominant individual and cross it with an albino. Now, it's always going to be crossed with the homozygous recessive because we're trying to figure out this one. So as mentioned in the previous video, I like to do the table of gametes. So here are the gametes that are made by one individual, and here are the gametes made by the other individual. And then we put those into the Punnett square. Again, the Punnett square is a prediction of what might come if we do this cross. And as you can see, every single box in the Punnett square, every single fertilization will result in a heterozygous individual. So we can say that the predicted outcome, because Punnett squares are predictions, the predicted outcome of this cross is going to be 100% of the children are going to have the ability to make melanin. What if the individual is heterozygous? What would be the outcome of that? So let's take that heterozygous individual and again cross it with a homozygous recessive, and we'll make our table of gametes. And I'm gonna go spermitails and eggs, and then put that into a Punnett square. What happens when we do this? What would we predict to be the outcome? Here's our heterozygous individual's gametes. Here are the gametes of that homozygous individual. And then if we fill in our predictions, you can see that the ratio of offspring is different from what we saw over here. This time we have 2 that can make melanin and 2 that are albino, or we can simplify that as 1 melanin to 1 albino. When you do the actual cross, you'll be able to see whether or not you have about a 50-50 ratio in the actual offspring, or whether they're 100% having melanin. So that's how you do a test cross. Hope this video was helpful in helping you learn genetics.